What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I go by Zombie. I'm very passionate about spirituality, specifically astrology, and my main goal with this channel is just to be able to show everyone how self-improvement and spirituality really do go hand in hand. And so if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And without further ado, let's hop right in. So I'm going to leave a link down below in the description. If you click that, it'll take you to a site, and you can enter in your personal information there and it'll create a birth chart for you. And, from there, you can start your own little discovery, or excuse me, your own little journey of self-discovery. But for this series, so far as this series goes, I've just been going over the houses in astrology and essentially what each house means. So in astrology, the ninth house is referred to as the house of philosophy. It's our search, it's kind of like our search for meaning, right? That's the focal point there in that house. It's all about finding yourself, kind of where you, and also kind of where you, fit in the world, right? In a sense, think about Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the natural, the ruling sign of the ninth house. Jupiter and Sagittarius, they rule the ninth house. And so usually, a Sagittarius person, they are, generally pretty interested in learning more and gathering more information, whether that be through, just studying or experiencing. More often than not, they do like to go out and experience, and connect with people and learn kind of that way. But through exploring our world, we start to grasp everything that is available to us. Through higher education, we have the hope of understanding concepts and theories that will enhance our world, whether it's philosophy or psychology. The ninth house reminds us that life is a journey of discovery. So any planets you have here will tell you the parts of your personality that are stimulated by the ninth house. So what does all that mean? Again, like I said, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy, ninth house energy. But, it's in specifically, in context of the house, right? So far as areas of, life, when you think ninth house, you would definitely think like, again, like I said, the philosophy, religion, right? Higher values and morals also play a role when it comes into when it comes to the ninth house, because, in your search of truth, you developed a deeper sense of self-awareness, right? And again, like I said, who you are and your vision for yourself and what exactly it is you want to do in the world. And then it's like, from that point, you have to apply discipline, right, in order to stay on that path. And that's kind of like, the Capricorn energy, and so on and so forth. It just evolves on through. And it's interesting, like a little side note here, it's very interesting to me how the journey through the signs and the whole concept of the 12 houses kind of breaks down life in a sense, right? And the evolution of the human body, but the human soul and the human mind as well. Everything is compartmentalized into astrology and the zodiac, and it's life. It's simply life, and it just reflects life. And that might make sense to you and it might not, but I just, for example, how I just said the discipline thing and the Sag energy and it evolving into Capricorn, every sign, right? The sign before it has, every sign carries traits of the sign before it, right? But it's kind of like an evolution process. Is what I'm referring to, right? What I'm getting at here. And so, for example, with Capricorn energy, it's kind of like applying the discipline to the vision, right, of the ninth house, right, to the Sag energy. And then, having that drive towards a goal, right, and achieving it, and then wanting to have a deeper impact with that, right, to the point where it affects not just you, right? Now, it's not just a personal success, but it becomes impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes from a personal achievement to impact on a broader scale. And when you start focusing on that, that's kind of when it evolves into that Aquarius energy. And then when you detach from, the whole, not, I don't want to say any like goal driven desire period, but more so is just detaching from the idea of success, and just detaching from results, and detaching from all that shit. Because if you get too attached to results, it can kind of hold you back from making more progress, right? And so when you detach from it and you just realize, like, in the end, this is all about the journey. It's all about the experience, right? No matter which way it goes. That's kind of when you evolve, mentally into like that Pisces, so to speak, that Pisces energy, that Pisces, space of a more, a unity consciousness type of thing, where you start to understand how, if you think about the zodiac, right? If you start to understand, you start to understand that everyone has their own role that they play in life, right? Every sign, every soul, like we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and those are to be applied in, certain areas of life for specific reasons, right? Because it kind of keeps the wheel turning, keeps the ball going here. But right now, current state of society, it doesn't exactly portray that, as much as it could. But I don't know, hopefully one day people will be more aware of all of this shit, and they'll try to, focus their energy where it's meant to be focused, but for the greater good of everyone, right? Because we all have to like live here at the end of the day. But not to go on too much of a rant, right? Getting back to the ninth house and the planets you have there, right? Let's say let's say you have Venus in the ninth house. Venus has a lot to do with what you're attracted to, right? Love, beauty, things of that nature, what you value. So having Venus in the ninth house definitely mean you're somebody who does value, spirituality, of higher concepts, that type of thing, higher education, more deeper knowledge of self, right? Spirituality, even, right? If you have Venus in the ninth house, and you'd be someone that's very passionate about, all of these things. So moving right along. So correlation wise, like I said before, we have philosophy, again, Sagittarian people, Sagittarius people, they generally, do have, some belief system, some type of faith, right? Some type of bigger outlook on life, right? Some sort of philosophy for living, right? Even if it's just flow like water, right? It's take it easy. They generally have, some sort of moral compass built up, and idea of the way things are in the world. So, and everyone, of course, everyone has that, but I would say, for certain people that holds more weight, and for the Sag, that definitely would hold more weight, right? And it's something that they put a lot of focus into and a lot of attention into. And I would also say, again, spirituality and religion, they kind of bounce off of the whole philosophy thing, but they're still separate in the same sense, especially with religion. It's definitely separate with religion. But if you're someone that's not necessarily into the whole spirituality thing, and you are more so on the religion side, that's still excuse me, that's still very ninth house esque. Like if you had a lot of planets in your ninth house and you were very interested in theology or things like that, but not exactly spirituality or spiritualism, it's the same interplay, of energy going on there. The same, search for higher truth and understanding that there is, a bigger power at play here. And laws as well. Laws, not even just like in a society, yes, on a society level, right? Because if you think about the purpose of laws, right, the whole purpose of laws is to kind of keep order, right? To keep order, right? To keep things, structured for the good of society. So again, going back to what I was saying about the whole discipline thing and evolving into like the Capricorn energy, that's kind of where like the laws come into play. Because Sag energy can be very chaotic, you know. Jupiter has a lot to do with expansion. That's the main key word there. And you know, um if you just think about Sagittarius, right, as a person, they can be very wild sometimes. They love their freedom, very, very independent, but, you know, most definitely can be very, you know, wild sometimes. So applying self-discipline, you know, is very, 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 you know, necessary for everybody, but especially for, you know, like Sag and, you know, signs like Pisces that definitely might, you know, be more on the wild side, or their mind just might wander off, right, more than other people, because you know the energy of Sag and the energy of Pisces is very much so more subconscious, right? And you know, applying self-discipline can kind of help to keep you focused, right, on your goal, right, that you, or yeah, your goal. Just to basically, you know, summarize and simplify it all. But yeah, laws. And I didn't put grandparents and grandchildren on here, but the ninth house is definitely, you know, one of those more generational houses, so definitely has a lot to do with, you know, like grandparents and grandchildren, things like that. But yeah, that was the ninth house. Next we're going to be doing the 10th, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.